Hello, hello, everybody. Hey, so happy that you all are here. I want to make sure, first of all, can you guys hear me okay? Audio coming in good. The way you can answer is by letting me know where you guys are calling from. Let us know if you're a Brivity customer at this time. That would be really helpful to us to one, ensure that we're coming in loud and clear, and two, get to know you guys just a little bit better. That would be awesome. Alex, good to see you. Alfred, I've got Dylan, Abraham, Jean, Luis. Hello. Nope, I'm getting a AI saying hello to me. AI is saying hi, but I don't know if I got anybody else saying hello. Patricia, good to see you. You know what I got? I got a little confetti, a little uh I don't know what you call that, but that was telling me people can hear okay. All right, you guys are going to be quiet. That's fine, except for who came in with that answer. Alfred, thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for telling me who you are, where you're calling from. I'd love to hear from the rest of you. Today, we are going to be talking about three proven strategies to get more listings. I always give you guys two numbers, 7, 2, 3. We usually bring in a little more. So I might actually give you more than three, if that's okay. If I give you less than three, I think you guys would be a little bit more upset, but more than three is good. Hopefully that works for you, Maria and Mike. All right, let's talk about, first of all, can anybody answer? Because I'd love for this to be somewhat interactive if possible. Can you guys tell me why we need more listings today more than at any time? Why do we need more listings today than at any other time in this season, in this time of year? I'm giving you guys some hints here. What is it that why is it most important that we get listings today? So I'll start with one. I got an answer in here. Let's see. Oh yeah, you guys are being awesome. I love that. And Lewis is coming in with a great answer. They're saying get a better start to the year. Totally agree with that. That is absolutely true because our January, February, March typically suck. Would you all agree with that? Right, Alex, that from New York State, would you say that typically our that those months are really hard? And the reason is because we lighten up on that lead gen effort in those holiday months, if you will. Right, Alfred from Phoenix? So there's another reason. That's because we can, if we do it now, we can maybe even help our October, November, I should say November, December, January business. Are we going to be able to get little Johnny that GI Joe with a kung fu grip? That's the question. And and I can give you three proven strategies to get more listings to do that. Okay, let's start with some facts. Did you guys know that the average home ownership rate in most counties is around 60%? So I want you to think about that in your own database. If you were looking at your own database, around 60% of that database are potential home owners. So I want you all to understand that that means that you probably have more home owners in your database than you are identifying. There's probably an easy way to do that. If you have a way of filtering, I want to find every contact in my database that has a physical address. That would give you a good idea of the amount of sellers you have in your database. And does that match against the 60%? If not, maybe we need to dig a little bit deeper to get into that current database. Did you also know that according to NAR, Buyers and Sellers Generational Trends Report, if you all haven't seen that, it comes out every July. It's an amazing report. If you just go into the Google and look for NAR Buyers and Sellers Generational Trends Report, you'll find the PDF on that. It states that 81%, okay, 81% of sellers interview only one agent. So if we're having that conversation, if you all have that appointment, there's a high likelihood that you are going to get that listing. NAR also says that people live in their homes for an average of 13 years. So think about that. If around 60% of your database are homeowners and 13% are looking to move this year, would you all agree that there's a gold mine of potential listings? Right? Wouldn't you say, Joyce, that there is a gold mine of potential listings in our own database? So let's dig into some ways that we can, one, capture new seller leads, and two, cultivate those seller leads that we have in our database today. Patricia, hopefully that's what you came here for, because that's what we're going to cover. Every single Brivity website has a what's your home value page. It's a link that's on the website, what's your home value? And that is specifically designed to capture new seller leads. It's also built to engage our current database. We have ways of us re-engaging with our database to get them to do this exercise, to get the results of this exercise, and thus we now have a key, a clue to them moving a little closer towards the conversation of selling their home. Maybe not selling their home, but moving a little closer to that, to having the conversation. That's really what it's all about, right, Nina? You guys are going to notice at the bottom of each one of my slides, I have this text platform to 59559. If you guys are loving what you're hearing right now, and you please stick around for more. But at any time, and in fact now, if you'd like, take out your phones and text the word platform to the number 59559, and then you will get in connection with somebody to find out even more about Brivity. What I'm showing you here really is just a layer of many amazing layers. We're going to incorporate many of those as we go through. So what we're doing is we're just trying to find people who are curious about what's happening in their market, curious about what's happening with their equity. That's a great term to use a lot when we're doing this. And in fact, these pages can be customized. They can be customized. You'll notice this one is customized for Austin, Texas. This is the generic version of it. Either way, you've got a great message there, a great call to action. If we do choose to customize it, you can customize it to a neighborhood, to a subdivision, to a city. Maybe you have a popular monument, maybe you have a statue or something like that that represents your area. This is one of the best tools to aggressively and or passively capture that motivation. When we're talking about the niche areas, we can create a niche area, for example, military, move up, move down, retirement communities. Any of these pages can be replicated and duplicated into those types of calls to action. So if you could imagine, you could have multiple ways of capturing different types of leads and then identifying exactly who's coming from those specific sources. One of our most powerful tools, and you guys are going to find out why. Let's look at some ways of what actually happens when they fill out that first step. First step, fill out the field, the address field. Fill out the address field. When they do that, it actually does bring up a Google address so we know we're getting the right address. They're going to fill that in. They're going to go find out. The next step that they get is, hey, we need to know what type of report would you like? Or do you want more information just on selling your home? That's step two. And then step three is going to be where we ask them for their full contact information. Here's something that we have found out to be true. When somebody goes through all three of these steps, Olga, when they fill in their full name, when they fill in their email address, Olga, when they put in their phone number and click claim free report, most times that information is valid. They don't go through all of these steps to give us bland information most times. And because they do really want to know more about it. And in fact, we're not exactly showing them or telling them, in a manner of speaking, we are saying view your free report, connect with us to explore, but they don't know exactly what's going to happen on that next step. Okay, here's the results of what's happening. Here's the results. These results are going to show a list of the sources of where this information comes from. It's going to give them a valuation of what these three sources have delivered. We call it an AI generated report. Since it's coming from three sources, it's coming from Atom, Home Junction, and Zillow. So the actual number can vary. It's done in a radius. And as we know, radiuses can cross certain areas. Not all times is this going to be correct. And I'm telling you, this is the opportunity for the conversation, Trudy. Trudy, I have people calling, telling me as a coach or saying, "Hey, Kevin, people are calling me. They're calling me, and they're mentioning that the home value is not correct." And my response is, "They're calling you." What a great time to get that visit scheduled, right? To get them on a proper valuation, to maybe even provide a CMA tool. Wouldn't you all agree that that is the best time really to get engaged with that conversation? Raha, it's like I can't be responsible for all the information that comes through here, okay? But I do understand that you probably need a better valuation, and in fact, your home is probably so unique that we want to go and make a visit so that we can provide the proper information, the proper details for you. Now, here's something that we can know, we can tell them immediately as well. And by the way, let me do a little bit more research. Let me do some market analysis, and I will determine based on better comparables of what your home value might actually should be. And I'm going to adjust that in your report and I'll send it to you, and then I'll just make sure that you received it. Oh my gosh. Like what we have it as a conversation, we're having as a follow-up, we're having as a communication promised to them and that they're expecting. One of the best things they can do is say, hey, this just isn't right. This tool also comes with a mortgage calculator. I love having the conversation with them about the mortgage calculator. I tell them, even if the home value isn't correct, put in there what you think it should be. Put in there what your mortgage is right now. Put in there what you paid on your mortgage, what it started with. And then you can take a really good look at what kind of equity that you've gained in that home. And then lastly on this, you can see right here where this map is, it's going to provide a map of a radius of their area, okay, directly where they are. And it will tell them who's pending, who's active, who's sold, the market activity, if you will. And if they're able to see the price of something that has, when it came on the market, what it sold for, what it's listed for, how long it's been active, the ones that are going pending right away. If they could see all that, they're going to be much more informed. And Tina, a more informed seller is a much easier seller to work with. You guys probably agree with me on that. If you do agree with me on that, and I don't know how you can't, take out your phones right now, you all. Text the word platform to 59559 so you can find out more. This is just a taste of what the Brivity home valuations can do for our sellers. We also have some amazing opportunities to communicate with buyers in a really a powerful way, making them more informed about what's happening in the market based on our market reports. Our teams can tell you more about that. Let's The way that these leads come in, there's two ways they come in. One is a full lead, as I mentioned, when they fill out their full name, email address, and phone number. We've already captured that physical address. We get that pumped into the CRM. They come in as new. They come in as a seller. And actually, the intent on there is a little different on my screenshot, but that's cool. They come in as a seller, and they come in with the tag of home valuation, so that we can easily find those leads that come out of there. Another way that they come in is at address only. That's the one that when they fill out that, when they get to step three, they're like, nope, I don't know what that next thing's going to do. I don't know what kind of information they're asking for. I'm going to turn off my computer. I'm going to close my browser. Whatever it is they do, if they get past step two to that step three, we've captured that address. So we have a full lead, as I mentioned, a most times a valid a valid email address, phone number, and name. The address only lead just entered their physical address, and they just didn't want to move on to that next step. We have several systems that can help us to one, let's find all of those address only leads. Let's put all of those address only leads into a specific list or a group. Let's take this list of address only leads and let's start sending them postcards, postcards with calls to action, such as QR codes and short links that are trackable. In other words, we're going to know if somebody receives one of our cards, tracks that QR code, and if they're not in our database already, we get them introduced as a lead, and we're able to see that in our activities folder, letting us know that someone activated one of those two keys. Isn't that amazing? That's a really great way of us staying engaged and seeing this person's done this two or three times. We keep taking them to the home valuation page because that would be where that call to action takes them. We're hoping that they're going to go through these three steps. Once again, as we continue to send those marketing postcards, the more recognizable we become. The more recognizable that we become, the more that they begin to trust us. The more that they begin to trust us, the more likely they are going to provide us with their full name, email address, and phone number. It's all about consistency. And the best part about all of this is it's all within one system. See, we're able to do all of these things in one single platform. We don't have to leave to go to Canva. We don't have to leave to go to the home software that we are using and paying extra for. We don't have to go to a different postcard source with a CSV file that we have to export and then bring in. It's all integrated into one system. If you are a Brivity customer, by the way, if you're a Brivity customer and you are, if you're a Brivity customer, oh, I'm sorry, if you're a Brivity customer, I just got a text on my phone and probably on my watch, have to take that off. If you're a Brivity customer, we have at 11 o'clock Pacific time today, right after this webinar, shortly after the webinar at 11 o'clock, we'll be covering the Brivity Marketer and how to gain more listings using Brivity Marketer, and that would include the postcards and those other tools. So join us for that. The rest of you, in order to become a part of that happy hour I just mentioned, which we do every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Pacific time, and we talk about some of the amazing tools that Brivity has and the industry challenges that we're dealing with, time of year. We cover all of those things with expert Bob Stewart and myself. Text platform to 59559, and then you guys can be a part of that. Then you can join us in one of those. That's how I'd love to have you do that. For now, I have a free gift for you. Okay? I have a free gift for you guys. So I'd like you to take a minute, Paul, take a minute and scan this QR code. If you're a Brivity customer, then you can use this text in your email templates. If you're not, just scan that. Use the same text. If you have your own tool that you can send these emails in, feel free to do it. Find all of your sellers. If you don't have a way of doing that, we've got the tools to help you do that. Find all your sellers and let's get them re-engaged with you. Send them to that website source that you have. Again, if you don't have all of that, Brivity platform can provide all of that for you. So take advantage of that. You could even use that, use your that link here and continue to try to drive more traffic to your own website. Brivity does have email templates available that you can quickly choose and then apply to whatever list of contacts that you've filtered out. So I'm going to find all of my sellers who I have an email address for, and I'm trying to re-engage with them. Okay, a specific group, even if I want to try to get very specific through these filters, I could then choose them all, put them on one template, fire that off, and now the placeholders, first name, last name, all of that's captured. They get the message. I've done maybe 5 clicks and I've communicated to 50, 100, 150 people with a really powerful message specifically to them. Not a mass email, specific message to them. That's the power of Brivity. Do you all have any questions so far? Are you liking what you're hearing? Patsy, tell me about it. Tell me what you're learning. Tell me what you want to know. Lewis, is there something that you I haven't mentioned yet? Maybe that I plan on bringing up. Okay, so let's go on to the Brivity market reports. This is one of the best tools that we have here uh, in Brivity. It has an extraordinarily high open rate, over 36% open rate. There is no, there is no real estate email that we will ever send that will get a 36% open rate consistently, week after week, bi-weekly, or monthly. Think about that. Your pie recipe, your go clean your gutters email, the 25 listing emails that you send out, none of those are going to get that high of a rate of return in clicks. So I want you to think of this as your Go List Me tool. That's what one of our top agents calls it. Gail Smith calls it the Go List Me tool. It's really it's a way of giving a health check in the trends that are what's happening. As you can see, the seller, as I mentioned a little bit a moment ago when we were talking about that, uh, here with this home valuation, the seller gets a home valuation. Every week they can get this home valuation, and it'll change as the industry changes or as the market changes. They will see the area that they live in and the activity, what's happening there. It will display all of those properties if they click on them so they can start doing some comparing on their own. Anytime they click on any one of these links, they're driven to your website. Actually, when they're in the market report, when they open that email and they view your market report, now they're driven to your website. All of this is on your website. That's a really important thing for us to remember. We're not bouncing them around from tool to tool. They're in one single place. What else is there for them to find, Paul, on your website? What other things might be available to them on your website? And the answer is going to be more properties, either properties that are in their area, which they can click on using that map, or even properties that they didn't realize that maybe they'd like to use to move to. We start seeing buyer activity on people that have received market reports. We might now have a buyer seller. They don't always realize that we can help them with the transaction. However, when they realize we can help them with the transaction, over 80% of them use the same agent. We have to make sure we inform them of the value that we can provide to them as a buyer as well. Or we have agents on our team that can help in that buying process. We don't lose out on that opportunity, that beautiful double-sided opportunity that is a blessing to us in the real estate world. The CMA tool, the Brivity CMA tool uses a unique strategy. The Brivity CMA tool is something that when after we have that market report conversation with them, after we have maybe even established a listing presentation, we have the opportunity to provide them with the Brivity comparative analysis and utilizing the 5-5-5 strategy. And this is a way of us pricing our homes to win, right? It's pricing our homes, gaining our clients' trust. It's showing them that we have the tools and the resources available to service them. We are when in our listing presentations, we are providing a lot of promises. These promises can be kept by helping them determine the best price of the home, and Brivity CMA can help you do that. So the 5-5-5 strategy refers to 5 active homes, 5 pending homes, and 5 sold comparables. And this is a great way of price recommendation. It's going to help us figure out the current competition of the market, the momentum of the market, like what is pending, the actual market results, what's sold, and then it helps us to shift that pricing conversation from here's our opinion to here's the evidence, here's what the numbers show. Take advantage of the Brivity CMA tool. It does come included with Brivity. If you'd like to know more, you guys know what to do, right? I'll answer it for you. Text platform to 59559. Okay, here's the last thing that no, it's not the last thing. Almost last thing that I'm going to show you guys. With the Brivity, we have an amazing opportunity in Brivity to pull up anybody that's been on our website. They have viewed a particular property or a property like properties that are coming on the market, and we have the ability to determine who they are. And we have a really great way of showing off our current database. And in fact, let me go into, I think I can show this one. So just let me pause the screen for a minute. And all right. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Okay, I have the search listings tool up right now. And here's what it looks like. And the bigger your database, the more results you're going to get. This is on a test CRM. But as you can see, I have three matches that are looking at a property like this property, or have looked at a property like this property, or even this particular property. When we bring these numbers, these buyer matches to our sellers, we could filter out their area, even their price range, and then find the type of property they have. Not going too specific, because then we may lose out on uh, some real true comps. When we apply that, we get those results. We could tell them these are going to be the first people that I call when I walk out of here with your listing agreement. That's a really great way of making sure that we are sealing that listing agreement by letting them know we have current buyers right now today that are interested in finding out more about that particular property. So hopefully you guys love that one. And if you want to find out more, you know what to do. All right, let me bring my slideshow back up. I've got a couple more for you guys. All right, here we go. You heard me mention a couple of times about the Brivity filters. In other words, I was saying you could filter out a particular group of people. You could find all of those address only leads. You can filter out anybody that has viewed your market report once or multiple times. Find out when they were looking at it. You can find out what time they were looking at it, what day they were looking at it, what they were wearing with it. You can't see what they're wearing, Olga, when they're looking at it, but we can get all of those other amazing details out of out of those filters so that we are saving the most valuable asset that we have in this business, and that's time. Because every minute that we spend searching, every minute that we spend looking for qualified leads, that is lead gen time taken away from us. So Brivity wants to eliminate that busy work so that you can focus on what you need most, and that is either moving the needle, right, or continuing to lead generate so we can have those proper conversations so we have a needle to move. These filters allow you to find individuals quickly, and they're easy to discover. In other words, there once you're in the filters, you'll start looking and finding other filters that will bring you different results. So we can always be creative in our lead gen activities once we get past our standards, if you will. Okay, you all have heard me use the term. If you want to find out more, text the word platform to 59559. This is the tool that I'm talking about. This is an amazing way of capturing buyers passively. When I say passively, I mean passersby. So if a bike by, walk by, and drive by traffic can quickly find out more details about a listing by simply texting your unique keyword. Our unique keyword is platform for this example, and it's always to the number 59559. Once we have the Brivity, the quickly tool applied to a specific applied, your properties that you have for sale will allow you to customize the messages when people text that number staying in front. They also have the ability to find additional listings that are in the area. So this gives us a way of capturing the the leads and those contacts that aren't ready yet call the number that's on our signage. We always expect that they're going to see that sign, they're going to call that number, they're going to go to that website and find that property. If we can make it a little bit easier for them to do that passively, if they're not ready to take that step, remember, they're right now not even considering having the conversation. We can capture the real cell phone number right there at our properties for sale, or maybe even capture their cell phone number when they're looking at other properties at our competitors' properties. Either way, we've got their phone number. Caller ID will do its very best to capture their first name and last name, and you all can do the rest, consistently communicating with your buyers to bring more buyers to your sellers. That's quickly. This is why I keep pushing the platform 59559. I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of your time, some of the questions that you put in. Let me know what you thought of today's session. If you have any questions, is there anything in particular that we can help you with? Give us a shout out, give us a heart, give us one of those confetti blowouts. We'd love to know what you guys thought of the session today. Thank you again for being here. We really appreciate it. Mike, thank you for being here. Nancy, Olga, Patricia, Trisha, Trudy, Steve, Alan, the rest of you. You guys are great, man. I appreciate you. We will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.